Hey there, I'm going to talk about stropping and what I use to strop my knives sharp because I've just got a new batch of the compound that I prefer in. So I'm going to talk about Starkie Sharp. It's a compound you get from England. Just do a Google search on it. I'll link the site in the bottom as well if I remember to, that you get it from. And it's this cool blue brick of a paste that you get and you apply it to leather and you use it to strop your knives to quite polishingly sharp edges there. And primarily I use it for finishing blades or maintaining my really super steel knives. I also use it on my axes after every use to keep the surface kind of sealed a bit more and keep that polish up. So let's have a look first at what I'm going to have to do before I apply the Starkie Sharp paste. So what I've got here is my strop, and as you can see it's just a belt. It's a bit of old belt that I epoxied to a piece of pine. Nothing fancy here at all. No, nothing purpose bought, nothing like that. But as you can see, the surface here is filthy. It's got Starkie Sharp and metal, metal residue from probably the last year or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape that off, and I'm going to use the back of a bushcraft knife. So just that 90-degree edge, and this has got a pretty sharp back. The more I light my fire, so I'm just going to be pushing off the filth from the back of the leather, as you can see there. You can see it just changes colour as I do it. That's all the crap coming off, and of course this will last, this leather will eventually wear through and I need to get a different set, but we're talking a matter of years here. It's a really good way to keep your strops, just as you wear out an old belt, just put it aside, and that way you never really have to buy a proper purpose-made strop. So what you want is you want to bring the leather back to that sort of fluffiness, rather than right now it's quite sort of almost smooth, just filled with old compound and metal filings. So it's getting there now, just nice and sort of fluffed up. You should see the surface changing as you rub the knife over it and that sort of stuff. So really good, good use for the spine of your blade. Some of the really tougher bits I'll just carve off because they are properly stuck in there. It's fine. So yeah, so what I've got there is pretty much like a fresh set of dried out leather again. So now that's done, I'll get my Starkie Sharp and I'll apply it to the back of the strop. So as you can see, that's pretty well impregnated, and it used barely any of the bar. So this bar will last for ages. The only reason I had to get a new one is because Cedric, my idiot golden retriever, ate the last one. Yeah, I hope it tasted well, Cedric. So once your Starkie Sharp has impregnated your strop, get the tool that you're looking to use, which for me today will be my outdoor axe. And forgive the awkwardness from the running past the camera, but this is the best way of showing you. You just draw backwards on it, making sure the edge is in contact with the strop. So that'll do the edge first, and that'll also just do the sort of the polished surface of the axe as well. Oh. Apologies for that, it's the handle grabbing onto the camera stand. So this axe has just been out being used all day, so I'll see if I can get it back to kind of paper cutting sharpness, just using Starkie and a strop. I'm sure I will, because this is a pretty malleable carbon steel. Just try a few different angles. So because it's a convex edge, you really can't muck it up too badly with a strop, and as you see, I'm just pretty much going freehand, keeping basic angles but nothing too fancy. Strop maintenance, I can't sing its praises high enough, especially if you're not a confident freehand sharper, because strop maintenance, even with your more V-ground traditional knife edges, because it's such a gradual process, and as long as you do it enough, you really can't mess up your knife edges. too bad. So right now I'm just polishing these faces so the blade's not actually coming to contact, and you can see the strop's getting a bit dirty again from steel, so it does take a little bit off, but you know, obviously such a tiny amount. You'd have to do this for 10 years without stopping, hooked up to a perpetual motion machine to really cause too many issues. So let's have a look at how sharp that's made this axe. I should have done a before test, but it doesn't matter. So let's see if it'll, there we go. So back to super shaving sharp, having been used that all day in the bush. So obviously it's not ever going to be a box cutter, but it's for an axe that's pretty darn good. So yeah. So Starkie Sharp is what I recommend. It only costs about £8 or something from England, and I ordered a couple of bars of it, so that should be enough to last me about 5 years or so. So that's what I use to strop, in case you've been interested. Alright dudes, I'll see you later.